Yeah, we're ready.
I was born ready.
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I think we're cranberrying tonight together.
I am. I'm total cranberry down.
Cheers.
I'm Tim Moss.
And I'm drunk Avelli on cranberry juice.
Hey, it's Fred.
We just got to see each other last night. How exciting.
Yes, we did in person, and that was wonderful.
I know, in New York. And we are here today to talk about the reason why we were in New York. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But before we do, tonight's show is sponsored by, as always, Uberlube.
Uberlube? What's Uberlube?
I know. Is this one gold or silver? I can't tell.
Gold.
Gold.
Gold in there, yeah.
Yeah, gold. They have silver and gold for the holidays.
That's their travel size, yeah.
The travel size. They have bottle sizes, small and large, nightstand friendly.
For all of you hoes out there. Yeah. Super size it.
Uberlube.com. You could go there, visit their site, all their wonderful products. They support us as we're traveling with 50 Shades of Gay, and we're very grateful.
Yes, so I love Uberlube. They're incredible. And again, it's not, you can use it on one end or the other. You know what that end is for. But also on your hair. It actually is, it works as a sheen, it lubricates your hair as well as other parts of your body.
And how many lube products can say they do that?
Exactly. I don't think I'd put KY on my hair.
No.
Just saying. I'd look like, what's her name, Cameron Diaz in something about Mary with.
Oh God! I think I would have rather if you said Cameron. What's her name? The Cameron lady, with the brother who's a religious right wing.
Oh, Kirk Cameron.
Yeah, I'd rather you say Cameron. Kirk Cameron. Oh boy! So Tim, if anybody has any questions for Dr. Tim or Dr. Ike, maybe you need some advice, send them over to ikeavellievents@hotmail.com or send us a DM at facebook.com, Loose Lips the Podcast. That's how you can find us.
Or ikeavellievents@hotmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's at Loose Lips the Podcast. Yes.
And people can watch our show every Wednesday on riptv.live.
Yes, and Rip TV has picked us up. riptv.live. Love that. Yes, well, actually, I mean, we've got a big show, an unusual show today, because we've got several guests that are going to be coming on throughout the podcast. So I think we should probably get started.
Yeah, go ahead, Tim. You start.
Okay, I'll start. Our guest has been knocking down doors since she started as a drag queen / comedian. She is the first drag personality to be seen in a television series as a correspondent covering New York City nightlife and culture.
Oh my God, that's truly phenomenal. Yes. And she has appeared in major feature films and also wrote, directed, and stars in the short film Drag to Death, a horror camp cult movie. Oh, and it is, sweeties.
Yes.
It's a movie that is being released this month. The premiere was last night, and we got some more news about the movie, and we're going to have the cast here, too, to talk about it. Tim, do it.
We are thrilled to welcome our good friend, Clover Welsh. Yay!
Hey, Tim. Hey, Ike. Oh, it's so good to be here.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Well, congratulations to you, too, for being part of it. I couldn't have done it without the amazing cast and all the support I've had. I'm really blessed. And it turned out to be so good. I know we're biased because
we were all Meryl Streep, Clover.
Yes. The audience seemed to like it. They were laughing, and so that was really
absolutely.
That's the biggest award right there when everybody's
you could tell genuine.
The thing is, I don't think we mentioned this, but last night was the screening of it, the premiere, the world premiere of Drag to Death, which stars Clover Welsh, or I've known you as Lady Clover Honey for so many years.
Yeah, go by both names.
Okay. Oh, you're bi. Okay.
Or Clover Honey, by names.
AKA.
Yes.
But we had it at Rock Bar last night down in the West Village. And
Rock Bar is so much fun.
Everybody saw the movie for the first time and loved it. Oh my God, we were laughing.
I'm so glad. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Next to yours perform, you're just natural comedians, the two of you, with great comedic timing. And the director, no director really had to say, well, no, wait, tell you about the timing, because your timing was just spot on. You know how to do your comedy.
Yeah, well, the writing
is difficult to do. People don't realize that it takes good timing to do good comedy.
Yeah.
And, you two have it.
Thank you. We
Well,
appreciate
I think we hung out with each other for long enough that
right.
we could develop comedic timing.
Yeah, we do that even when we're apart.
Even though the film's not really supposed to be a comedy, there's a lot of laughter. It was supposed to be like a horror thriller, but
having that hint of the comedy in there, it always works when it's a horror movie, and it has in the past with like scary. What was it? Scream.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and even like Rocky Horror Show, and and I like, what's that one with Goldie Hawn and Death Becomes Her.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Death Becomes Her, and also more recently, Cocaine Bear.
Oh,
hysterical, scary, horror, but hysterical.
And now, Beating Them All, Dragged to Death.
Yeah.
Hello.
So hopefully we'll get it played some more. We'll talk about it'll be on TV next week.
Yes.
And on the Vimeo web streaming next week.
Yeah.
We're getting more festivals. I don't want to name any until they make their official selections.
Yep, exactly.
Right, which is always a smart thing to do. You don't want to jinx it. But tell us, how did Dragged to Death come about?
Well, I always wanted to do a drag film, and I just started doing. You really couldn't. It was hard for an indie filmmaker to do films with the technology it is today. It's very easy, easier than it ever was before.
Mm-hmm.
Before who had not that many people even had a camera. Now everybody has a camera on their cell phone. Even though now cell phone cameras take amazingly good photography,
right?
And I'm lucked out that I have my roommate and my good friend. Dana Bryan, and he he produced videos back in the 80s, 90s called man-on-man porn videos called the Original Latino Fan Club. It was a big, well-known in the man-on-man erotica. Instead of saying porn, we should say maybe erotica or adult entertainment. So it has Latino men. It was like really the first reality porn, because he did back in the day. He didn't like a lot of the porn stars were like professional porn actors. They're all waxed and buff, but he wanted real men that you see in the street.
Yep.
So he was real. He attracted to Latino men. All the porn stars back in the day were white, chiseled, buffed, and waxed. So he wanted like ethnic and Latino men. And he just men that he met in the street says, "Do you want to make some money? Do you want to do this?" And they said, "Yeah, sure," And,
well, that's what made it so hot. I love Latino Fan Club. That was like my favorite. And I used to go to his parties in the Eastville or in the
East Harlem.
In the East Harlem, yeah.
Did he used to? I don't know if he attended, but I used to go. Tiger Tyson, who I think was in the films that he made. I think he used to go to Escalitas a lot.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, a lot of the boys. Yeah. Yeah, some of the boys were they were not necessarily gay, but some were gay. A lot were just straight guys who were just whatever, I'll do it, And
that was so hot.
Not necessarily like labeling themselves. They just had fun, and if you want to let people look at your body, let men look at your body if you're straight. A lot of guys are all for it, and some aren't. If you're not for it, don't do it.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't your first film, correct?
No, actually, I did another film. I wrote a couple of scripts. Something told me to start doing films. I wrote a couple of scripts, and I put them out in the universe and see whatever happens. At least I know, because I love writing, and so I wrote some scripts just for my own pleasure. Even if nothing happens with these scripts, I like to write. And I put them out there. And there's one script that Jed Ryan, who's in the film, that hopefully he'll come on later, really liked. It was about the ironicness about male nudity in public spaces, how I see it's changing, how young men are so shy. It used to be like nobody batted an eye in a men's locker room, but nowadays everybody's shy and hiding. So I thought this is so strange and odd how this is happening. And then it's odd for me to be, if I were to go into a men's locker room or a women's locker room, and I did happen to go into a man's locker room presenting as a female once, and the men were like, "Oh my God!" And I said, "No, you don't have to cover yourself for me." Then I'm, well, why don't they have to cover themselves? It's just a lot of crazy things. So I wrote a script, and Jed loved it. We kind of get this produced, and I didn't think to ask Dana, but I figured it was a short. And said, yeah, this is really, I like this, and we'll produce it. We produced it. Then I wrote the script a little bit bigger, and then and that turned out, we didn't know what's going to happen. I never made a movie before, so we made the movie. We put it out there, and the festivals picked it up. We won 2 festival awards, and people liked it, and it was really good.
The name of the film is
it's called Modest Male Exposure.
Yes, Modest Male Exposure.
Modest and exposure. I love the little wordplay.
Yeah. And Jed was not modest about his body, and he knew some other actors, and he casted everyone. He knew men that weren't afraid that posed for nude magazines, and that they're modest. And we just did it, and so let's just do it and see what happens. The worst that happens, we'll do it. Nobody will watch it or like it, or it get bad reviews. But it got good reviews, which is amazing. Not even reviewed it, just to review your film. It's great, and and I really, the best thing was when it was accepted into 2 comedy festivals. So I know it really must be funny. 2 comedy festivals. Then when I went to Los Angeles, where the comedians were telling me how much they loved it, and they quoted some of the jokes out that they liked. So it really is funny,
Yeah. If a comedian is quoting your jokes, that's
comedians. Yeah, they say, and I like this joke. That was funny when he said this and that. So then let's do another. I always want to do horror, and they say indie filmmaking, horror goes over the best. It makes the most money if it makes money, but you don't do it to make the money. You're not filmmaking so I did a horror movie. Let's just get a horror movie made as if it's ready for Halloween, and we just did. I made it easy to produce, and we produced it and made it, and asked people I know to be in it, like you two. And
and my God, the cast! It was just all of us friends. It was just a group of friends that came out to make this movie for you, which was so much fun. 100%. But I love that you wrote it, you starred in it, you directed it, you produced it. It's your baby. That takes a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to at least keep yourself busy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I've got a question for you. How did you start in drag? How did that come about for you?
Well, I always, growing up, I feel like I'm transgender. I always wanted to. When I was younger, I always wanted to be a woman, and I figured I would eventually be a woman. And then, but it was confusing, but I always loved having a male body, particularly the male body part. I would think, well, I'm going to have to get rid of it. But if I'm a woman, and then I was fascinated by watching Phil Donahue when I was a little kid, and he had trans people on and drag queens on. And I was always fascinated with that, because I figured I'll probably be a woman one day. And but then he had drag queens on, and it changed my life, because this one drag queen was very confident. Her name was Chili Pepper. She was very beautiful, very confident. And yet one drag queen said, "Look, I just do this on stage for entertainment. It's just a show." And the Chili Pepper said, "Oh no, for me, I'll spend the day as a lady, a week as a lady. I just like being a lady, not just on stage." I said, "Oh." And then somebody asked her, because the audience would ask questions, "Well, why don't you just get a sex change operation if you're spending the week, the month as a lady? Just get a sex change operation and be a lady." And she said, "Why don't you just do that?" And she said, "Because I don't believe in mutilation." I thought, that's a great answer. I don't believe in mutilation either. That's a perfect.
Well, and because, see, when we were growing up, that was not an option.
No,
it was not available like it is now.
Right.
And nobody talked about it. Nobody. So it was. I don't know. I'm sure you can probably relate, but I felt like a total outsider, like I didn't fit in. That.
Oh yeah, right.
I was so much different, and along that line.
Yeah, I was always feminine, and people could tell I was gay, but maybe I'm trans. I don't. So they people didn't like. It was this kind of a small town, a suburban town in New Jersey, near northern New Jersey, called Totowa, near Manhattan. It's like a half-hour bus ride into Manhattan, so it's not really that far from New York, but it seemed like a light years away, because no one really went to New York much. They suburban people getting in their cars and going to places. And that they could park, that has free parking. Those people in my family are like that. So I never thought, when I found I could do, when I did drag, I just loved it. And so I said, that's a way for me to express my female side by being a drag performer. And
absolutely,
said, okay, man, doing drag is, but then I started wanting to do it not just on the stage, just going out and just being a lady. And people would say to me, "Well, oh, are you performing are you performing tonight?" I said, "No." Then why are you in drag if you're not performing? They don't say that anymore. They used to always say
Right,
exactly.
because we didn't have the knowledge we had back then.
Right.
Yeah,
like, why is this guy doing drag? A guy even made fun of me. Was a bear. I used to be a bartender at the Center Dances, and there was a bear dance. And one guy saw me in drag. Duh! I thought this was 1,000 gals. Like I'm stupid for doing drag at a bear dance. Like I'm not doing drag. I'm just being myself. And
yeah,
you don't get that anymore,
so weird. People's perceptions of things are just so weird.
Yeah.
Why we can't just let everybody be who they are and just do what they want and just enjoy and celebrate each other. That's
you would think today, but that seems to be going backwards.
The what?
I said you would think today, but that's all going backwards.
Right, exactly.
Oh yeah, the
main drag queen story hour under assault and under fire, and in Florida with just drag in general being under
just Florida and in general. Yeah,
they're just looking for a minority to pick on to.
Yep.
They don't want to deal with the real issues in the country, which are healthcare, gun control, and infrastructure, and
exactly.
They're worrying about a drag queen reading stories. That's not the thing to worry about. People go bankrupt when they get sick because they can't pay their medical bills in this country, not other countries. I've relatives in Europe. They don't have that problem.
Exactly.
But we know how to solve the problem. It's easily solved. The other countries will tell us what they do, and oh no, we wanted the farmers to make. No, it's a long story.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of paved the way for drag queen story hour because weren't you like one of the first New York nightlife correspondents in drag?
Yeah, that was there was a magazine variety magazine news magazine show. It was called Under the Pink Carpet.
Yep, I remember.
And he started it in the early 2000s,
and that was. Who was that? I can't think of his
Tony
name.
Sawicki.
Tony, yeah.
He started in Philadelphia, actually. Philadelphia State WYBE started it. It went over well. And then when he moved to northern New Jersey, he said, let me try to make it in New York City. And it took a while. And so we were doing, and I was doing, I loved being the idea of being on television was like always wondering. I just didn't want to be a guy in drag lip syncing in a gay men's nightclub.
Right.
So being a television reporter, something as a woman, not just being a lip syncer or a drag performer in a bar, a gay men's bar. This is really like, even though for a while it was only shown in Philadelphia, not even in New York, but I was happy to do it, to be a television, to tell. And then it was finally picked up in Channel 13. It was a PBS show, and it had a PBS distributor. And Channel 13 didn't want to do this. No, we have In the Life. That was the show they had. Again, that's our token gay show. We have In the Life. We don't need any other show.
Right.
Yeah. So, which was upset. Then finally, the New York City owned station picked it up. When Bloomberg became mayor, New York City had a TV station. It didn't really use. They used it to show like court hearings. Like if you can't go to the court hearing, we'll put it on TV. You can sit home and watch it on TV. Then Bloomberg said no. New York City has a television station. Not every city does. I want to make use of this. And he said they started putting on all these magazine shows about how cool and hip New York City is. And they put on the pink carpet on because we were showing how cool and hip the gay scene in New York City is. And they asked me if I could be a drag reporter. So I report on other drag culture and entertainment, not just a drag show here and there, but there was like drag off Broadway shows, drag cabaret shows. And I would be a reporter, give exposure to the other drag artists, and we put it on TV way before RuPaul did. And
I remember all that because I would run into you at events.
Right. Oh yeah.
Another aspect of your personality that I remember right from the start is your LGBT activism. You knew you helped and introduced me to so many of the local politicians, from Eric Botcher and Mayor and this. You knew everybody, and what they did and
that was.
I mean, you were very, very connected.
Yeah,
very connected.
I started. I really
had your finger on the pulse of what was happening.
Oh yeah, because I really thought that New York City should have a non-discrimination law, anti-discrimination about trans people. They had a gay but people were still being. So you could say, I'm not going to give you housing or a job because you're gay, but you could say, no, he's so feminine. We can have a man in a women's clothing. So that was legal.
Yeah.
So it's connected. Gender, like a man having sex with a man, is something the female gendered person could do. A man wearing lipstick is something a female gendered, not a male. So we're all connected. And so I worked, and Bloomberg signed it into law in 2003. And then I was working for the New York State to get it signed into law, and it took them a long time because it was a Republican font. In 2016, I think. Yeah,
was that
New York State? What
Mario Cuomo or
no?
Or,
actually,
I mean not Mario. The son,
Andrew Cuomo.
Andrew, yeah, was it Andrew?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, actually the governor introduced it because he wanted to be the governor. Oh, that was the gay marriage law. No, sorry. The gay marriage got a lot more support than the transgender anti-discrimination law. But the gay marriage law got passed before in New York State. Before but we finally got passed in New York State. It got passed in New Jersey as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know people personally. I know a trans woman. She was getting hair. She was afraid because she was a big person who you could tell she was a trans man, and to get hair extensions out of a beauty parlor, and she was afraid, what were they going to say when they see me come in? They'll know I'm trans. And she came in and they treated her. She was they treated me so nice. I'm so happy. So she came. I'm going to write them a thank you card. So she couldn't wait to go back. And on the way back, they went running out to her car in the parking lot. It was Long Island. And they said, "No, don't come in this store. We decided after you came, we talked about it. We decided we don't want to have your kind in the store." And she was crying to me about it. I was just so shocked that she was accepting. Yeah. Like as someone said, like, we didn't know you were Jewish. Now that we know you're Jewish, we're not
right.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But listen,
I'm glad it's passed in New York, so that's illegal to do in New York State as now. Thanks to that.
Yep. Thanks to all the rallying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
we love this movie, and we have the cast hanging. Yes. Some of the cast here.
Let's get them on.
I know. So why don't you just give us a little bit about Drag to Death? Give us a little bit about the plot, and then Tim and I will talk about our characters, and then we'll bring some of the cast that's waiting in the green room.
Okay, so I figured it would be she wanted to get a friend to impersonate her to give her a false alibi.
Yeah, it's about her
husband. So she got her assistant dresser friend to impersonate her, and she ended up committing a murder, but she tried to get away with it. But once you commit one murder, it's easy to commit other ones, and then you sort of go crazy if you kill someone, and then you want to kill everyone that you get mad at.
Yeah,
things spiral out of control.
Yes,
I think that's cool to have drag with beauty products and glamour products in some of the scenes. And
it
was very clever. I have to tell you. I
agree.
Right, and then tell everybody, if you can, Clover, the character you played.
Well, her name is Shanna Rock. It sounds like Shamrock, so Shanna Rock, and she's a star drag performer who very promiscuous apparently, and she's on her husband, and her husband wants to just cut her off and not give her any alimony, so she doesn't like that, so. And there's proof of cheating and everything. So, and all these different lovers pop out of nowhere, and
Well, here's one.
Yes, all right.
I played Rick, the love interest of Shanna Rock, which this was a very hard role for me to play because I have never been anyone's love interest. So
no, I'll get out of here.
It's hard, but Rick knew Shanna well. That's what I got from the character, and he also was maybe a little bit smarter than she led him on to be. And really not happy the way Rick ended his relationship with Shanna. But watch the movie. But Tim, tell everybody about you.
Well, yes, my character is Larry. And Larry is the host the show at the nightclub, and will introduce Shanna Rock and to have her come out and perform. And he kind of knows what's going on behind the scenes a little bit. So he's got a little more information than some of the other people do. So
yeah, that's true. I didn't, I just thought about that, dude, because you see everything from behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And you're there keeping an eye. It's your job to keep track of everything.
Exactly. Keep an eye out for everybody.
Yeah. We're going to bring in the next cast member, and that is Gladiola Glarags.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me.
Long time no see him, huh?
Yes, we were all together last night.
Yes. So, Glad, thank you for coming on again, and tell everyone the part you played in Drag to Death.
Well, I play Evie, the assistant to Shanna, and I have a conspire with her to carry out this first murder.
Oof.
Because she's going to kill her husband. I don't want to give away too much. I hope that's
yeah.
No.
So we kind of have this little side plot going on of that. I'm going to disguise myself as her and impersonate her while she's on stage, while she's off killing her husband.
So that way she has an alibi.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The casting was great.
Saw her on stage.
The casting was great because
yes.
Seeing you guys, there was a part where I came in and I'm like, it looks like Clover.
Yeah, right.
Right. I think we were very well cast together because I look a little bit like Clover, and we're around the same age. And once I put
I thought you were younger. You're younger. Thanks for saying, yeah.
But once I put all the stuff on, I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, wow, I really look like her.
Yeah.
Except you needed to get a bigger
the more here. But she loans me her wonderful breastplate. So
yes.
Oh my God, I love those breastplates. They were fabulous.
Yeah, you were amazing, Gladiola.
Yeah, that was so
I was very nervous because I'm actually an actor. I'm a SAG-AFTRA, but I've mostly done background work, featured. Mm-hmm. But this is really my very first memorizing a script, even though I didn't memorize it that well. But I had loved it. This was such a goal in my life, and to be part of it with my old friend, not old as in she's old, but I've known Clover for a long time. So she chose me. I was just thrilled.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you would do because you had a beard. I don't know if you'd want to shave your beard, but I'm so glad you did.
Oh, anything for you.
And we're going to keep this cast coming in. We got the next one who, oh my God, I love her so much. We are going to bring in Wendy Stewart.
Yes. I'm so happy to be, I just had the best time at the screaming.
Well, you were at one point.
Screaming last night because it was so entertaining and so funny. And, Clover, I just picked up on what you said before. It is a horror film, but it is the characters and the commitment that each actor made to their character was just completely over the top. And there were so many incredible subtle things and nuances. Like I played Mimi the maid. I did not notice you had a picture of I Dream of Jeannie sitting at the table in the scene. One of my friends who I sent some pictures to in Florida said, did you know there was a picture of I Dream of Jeannie there? Was that deliberate? I'm like, I didn't even notice that. So it was just so I just love everything about this film, and I had such a good time, as we all did.
Yeah, well, tell us about Mimi, Wendy. How did you get into that character?
So it's not very hard for me to get into any character if you just give me like a costume and tell me what the character's supposed to do. I just always will take it from there, whatever my mind tells me to do. And, I just saw Mimi as this frenetic person with a feather duster the whole time. And inside, I think Mimi was a little worried about getting fired because when she took this job, she knew that, what's Jed Ryan's character again? What is it? Horace.
He wasn't a easy man to work for.
Right. He was tough. And when Mimi got the call from the agency, I did a whole backstory. When Mimi got the call from Maids R Us, she was just like a little worried that, she might not be up to par, and then it totally threw her off because the lady of the house was unusually tall and had a very deep voice. Mimi never dealt with that before,
Yeah. Your delivery on that was excellent.
Usually
great,
but it was so fun, such a fun script, and all of the parts in it. Seeing the screening last night, we all filmed our parts right at separate times. And the beauty of a film is when you edit everything together and you see it.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, and the music, Clover, I didn't even know you were having that. The music was perfect.
Yeah, me and Dana selected the music that we had available, and
I'm telling you, Dana did an amazing job of editing all of that together so quickly too.
One camera,
really good.
I know,
right? Yeah.
And you know the funny part was too, and I think when we were filming it, and you know what, I shouldn't even give it away. I won't give it away.
What?
But there was one funny part where I'll just say this, with a death scene, and there were two bodies on the floor laying on top of each other. And they had a lay there, which we thought was going to be like for 2 minutes, and it wound up being like 15.
Oh, yeah, because the camera had to be changed or something.
They know how to get this shot, I guess. It's so
because just a minute, I got to change the bat. I got to change
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Welcome to filmmaking.
But I mean, I've done a lot of films and I've worked with trauma productions.
Yeah.
The beauty of being able to work with your friends, the people that you know. And, you know, Clover, I know you've been creating scripts for a long time. I've known you for a long time. And I loved the way you positioned your role and you brought your friends in. It just, everything about the film really, really worked.
I have a question for you, Clover. When you were writing this, did you imagine each of your friends playing these roles?
Actually, yeah, I imagined you playing the role. Oh. Absolutely, yeah. And I wasn't sure which role to give to which person. But I did imagine it, and I too as well. And and Gladiola was a last minute replay. A couple of people turned the role down.
Hold up. Now this is where we're going to talk the dirt. Who was the people that turned it down?
Oh, I don't know.
Tell.
There are friends or people, you know. One person.
Maybe they were busy, or maybe they just couldn't.
No, one person she didn't like.
How about that?
She didn't like horror, and she didn't. It was too violent for her, you know. Yeah. Yeah, it was Fran. Fran didn't want to play Eve because she doesn't really like horror. And,
Fran.
She saw another horror. She goes, well, I don't like another script I showed. She goes, I don't like horror, but I like that script. But this script she didn't like, and that's, you know, when you're an actor, if you don't like the script,
right?
Every script isn't for everybody, you know.
Yeah. Well, again, everything works out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's fine.
All right, now who was the worst person to work with?
No, I can't.
Oh, I'll answer that. No, I would. Going there, not going there. Not going
me too. Me too. Dish it.
Dish it. Toss it. Right.
It was me. I'm so hard.
Well, unfortunately, there were a couple of other characters, but they're not here tonight. Jed Ryan.
That's character.
Tell everybody who Jed played. He played Horace, and then he was your husband.
Yeah.
Right. And then there was Ryan Woloski.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
He was a cop because he played a cop on Law and Order SVU. He had a small role as a recurring cop in that series. He was really the way he came in and questioned was like a detective, really good.
And then a new Singh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sexy Anu Singh.
Oh,
totally. I like finding men that are taller than me, so I can. And he's taller than me, so it's not. I'm 6 foot tall. And
now, who he played?
He played one of my lovers. I mean, of course, we have photographic evidence of that.
Yes. Oh my God, those still pictures were hilarious.
I couldn't do that. Well, I think what we discovered here is Shanna was a slut.
Yes.
Yeah.
She had no moral. She did anything wrong, even though she was married. She said, "Well, too bad, you know." She wasn't very moral either.
Yes. So
it's like the old stereotype of this diva who thinks she could do the diva stereotype. They could do whatever they want, and they're always right. Don't tell them they're wrong. They just do what they want. Too bad. It's their world.
Right. Even go as far as murder to get what they want.
Yeah.
That's my world if I want to murder someone.
And she was so close to getting that inheritance.
Did you have any were there any other films, like say either about drag or trans, that not that it was based on, but kind of that you drew inspiration from?
Yeah, well, of course, we're all about Eve. That's why I named the character Evie. Of course, all about Eve. That's obvious. And there's some, and I think I've seen all of read Agatha Christie murder mysteries. And this wasn't really a mystery, who there was one where it had an impersonator in it, and you had to figure out, it was hard to figure out who the murderer was, because if it's her, the impersonator, and then there's and there's a point to having like the maid was new and not smart, so she wasn't believable, that it was, she's new, she's a dips,
Yeah.
So there's a point to having the maid new. I put that line. It wasn't just the maid, that any maid, that she was new and she was a ditz, and they didn't believe her. And of course, parts of it were from Dress to Kill as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
Well, Dress to Kill.
Yeah.
A little touch of Psycho in there.
Yeah, right. I was like, what's the stabbing steam? And this one.
Who was the female that was in Dress to Kill? Was it Angie Dick? Not Angie Dickinson.
Yes, she was in that.
It was Angie, yeah.
She was the what was it? Michael Caine? What was the?
Yeah, Michael Caine.
Yeah, he was the cross dresser. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to do if I made it bigger, like a cruising, like how Dress to Kill, how that cruise where Angela, she was cruising the Metropolitan Opera.
Or the Metropolitan
in the
Museum.
beginning. It was like a cruising scene, but we just didn't want to make it too long or too complicated. We just wanted to get it out there and see, for Halloween, and see what happens. It's a little later than Halloween, but what are you gonna do? We had it ready before Halloween, but we could have actually screened it before, but it was just done like a couple of weeks before Halloween, and Rock Bar had the idea to have it after the horror trivia night, so people would stay who came for horror trivia.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
There's definitely a home.
Oh, there she is.
Definitely a home for this movie everywhere.
Well, Clover, tell everybody about Monday's airing.
Yeah, Monday, right?
Oh yeah, so it'll be on television on Manhattan Cable. There's a station called MNN, Manhattan Neighborhood Network, and Ryan Wolowski has been putting shows in his time slot since 2006. And every week he has a different show on. He reports on events and festivals and parades, and I've hosted some of them, but with his camera, and he does interviews as well. So he's so he put it like he did with Modest Male Exposure. He'll put it on his time slot, so we're going to put it on every Monday at 10 o'clock.
And this is Monday, November 29th.
27th.
Oh, 27th. Sorry.
Yeah.
Monday, yeah. So and Clover, is it? You said also it's going to be available on a computer link.
Yes, it's only MNN, Manhattan Neighborhood Network. It's on Spectrum, Verizon, and RCN cable in Manhattan. Now, if you don't have cable, and if you don't live in Manhattan and you want to watch it, they also live stream it on Vimeo. Like you could go to MNN right now and watch what they have on right now.
Oh, okay.
You can see that's great.
They have 4 channels. So look for RyanReporting. The title will say RyanReporting.
Right.
And they have 4 channels. And Ryan is on the channel 4, the culture channel. He does culture of New York City. And so we'll be representing the culture of New York City. So go to MNN.org, click on channel 4, but you have to go on at 10 o'clock on Monday, the 27th, and you could watch it if you want to watch it again, or if your friends didn't get to see it at Rock Bar and they don't live in Manhattan. If you live in Manhattan, you could just watch it on your cable station. And if you don't have cable, if you don't live in Manhattan, you could go to MNN.org, RyanReporting, Channel 4 Culture Channel, and you could watch it then.
Well, everybody with their friends have parties at their house on Monday, November 27th.
Yeah, really.
10 o'clock.
Yes.
He had to do some of the, even though the boobs were fake, somebody might think they're real. So he did some of the nipple censorship, which he did for the Modest Male Exposure. There was actual penises in there, so he had to block the penises out for the top.
Pixelating.
Yeah. Pixelated penises.
Pixelated penises.
So we pixelated our latex nipples. So.
Yes, your pink nipples. Pixelated pink nipples.
Even though they were fake, just to be on the bright.
They were very real.
They did. They looked fabulous.
Yeah, Clover, you were sporting some amazing cleavage.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's the other inspiration. Elvira's Haunted Hills was another inspiration.
Yes, yes. But that was because I leaned over to you while we were watching it last night at that one point, because I remember you were trying to zip it up and you couldn't get zipped up past your huge sets. And
then, once the zipper came down and they popped out.
That was funny.
I always think he wishes that was on film, or you could add that.
I know, right?
Oh, honey, Janet Jackson had nothing on you.
The whole zipper came down. The two tits popped right out.
Yeah, you're onto something here, Clover. It was actually looked better than Saline. So.
Yeah, really.
So what's the next steps now? So MNN, you just did Rock Bar. What's your vision for Drag to Death next?
Just to put in some more film festivals. People have told me that they liked it, but until they get the official selection. Because I wanted it to be the New Jersey Horror Con in October, but they didn't select it. I don't know why, but what are you going to do? That's so.
Well, could you do it for the following?
Yeah, they said maybe they'll do it again. In April, like they're having another New Jersey Horror Convention and Film Festival.
Isn't there one here in New York?
Yes, there's a New York City Horror Festival. Yeah. I missed the deadline. The deadline was in September.
Oh, I see.
So then they have it in December. So maybe next year it could be in. And then people in the Jersey City Horror Festival were telling me, "Oh, we got to show it there." So until they actually select it, and there's all politics. Some of these festivals, I was on the board of a festival, and there's a lot of politics of arguing sometimes, depending on the people in the festival.
Absolutely.
And you got to know somebody.
That somebody might put friends in, and they'll say, "But it's a terrible movie. I don't care if it's your friend. We have the reputation." No, it's not terrible. How dare you say it's terrible? So hopefully we'll get it in the Fresh Fruit Festival again, like we had Modest Mail last year in the Fresh Fruit Festival.
Clover, you know what would be great if you could make it. It's so campy. It is like a Rocky Horror. If you could have a screening every year connected to Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
And have the cast come or whatever. I'm sure with all of us, we could put our thinking caps on and come up with like a little show around it. I think that would be great. And we'll screen the film.
I was thinking asking some songwriters we know if they would maybe write some songs for it.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Campy.
Oh, I would love to, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Maybe write like a little theme song or something.
Yeah, that would be great. That's a great idea.
I'll try and milk anything.
That's show business. That's what you do in show business. Because when you have something that works, there's so much stuff out there that doesn't work and that's not so good.
Right.
Yeah.
Used to say what's good and what's bad, but
Well, before we log off and say goodbye, I know this is going to sound cheesy, but since next week is Thanksgiving, I thought maybe we could go around the room and just say something we're really thankful for. I'll go.
Okay.
I'm thankful for Dana Bryan and hopefully meeting the entire cast of the Latino fan club.
Well, I am grateful for Clover Welsh and involving me in this fabulous production of Drag to Death.
Clover.
I always have an attitude of gratitude. That's the way to succeed in life. You have to be grateful for every little thing. Just be grateful that you woke up. And I'm so grateful to have such good friends who helped me with this movie, who are so talented. And really, I thank the universe for that all the time. I'm just grateful. I had health problems. So I'm just grateful that you have your good health and that I could walk. And I had a problem with my foot. I couldn't walk. And now I could walk. And I'm grateful that I could walk. And just so grateful that I could still, that life is out there to enjoy. And I have the health and the energy to do it. And good friends and to help be creative with.
Yes, that's indeed.
All right. I'm grateful I'd like to ditto Tim and Clover. I'm so grateful to Clover for including me. And I'm also very grateful that I have good health and that I'm, able to do stuff like this.
Right. Mm-hmm. And ditto and ditto some more, but especially grateful. I met all of you, except for you, Gladiola. You're a new person in my life, but I met all of these people right before the pandemic. Clover, I kind of knew, but I formed relationships or started working with these people during the pandemic. And I still say, you know, no matter what you believe about the universe, you all came in on a wave for me and got me not only through the pandemic, but look at where we all are now with such positive energy and great projects and supporting each other. And yes, the health is so super important for every single person. But you know what? I'm so grateful that we all have a future together.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen. And thank you, Tim and I, thank you so much for coming on.
You.
Clover, congratulations again. Fabulous
really
movie.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to all you two.
Oh, and I got to get a picture. I love taking these hokey pictures when we're on these streets. Yeah, well, these are so fun.
Did you take it? Oh, okay.
Okay, good. Well, this is the part where we wave goodbye.
Oh, bye-bye.